Hello, everyone. Today we are going to present you Waste Connections and show you why it's a good investment option. Next, please. As you can see, the price of the stock has been rising gradually over the last 10 years. And Waste also focuses on creating value for the local community and its employees, helping to increase the stock price and consequently the free cash flow. And finally, the company is highly committed to sustainability, and this contributes to the company's image, open even more room for growth in the coming years. Next.
Waste Connection is a leader in collect, recycle, and recovering solid waste in Canada and US, has millions of Canadian and US consumers. It serves single and multifamily homes, construction sites, industrial sites, and special events. The company is committed to creating better environment for the future, use alternative technology to reduce waste, greenhouse gas emissions, and use of biofuel. Next slide, please.
The waste management market in North America is expected to reach almost 230 billion and growing at a rate of 5.3% by 2027. As you can see, Waste Connection is the third biggest in the market with a market cap of 32 billion, just behind Waste Management Inc. and Republic Service with 65 and 41 billion as a respected market cap.
Here we have a graph about how Waste Connections has grown comparing to some important indexes. The first thing to mention is that the company had 18 consecutive years of positive total shareholder return. And this is an important information when you decide to buy its shares. After that, when we can see that Waste Connection TSR grew 577% in the last 10 years. In other words, if the shareholder bought the shares 10 years ago, had an increase of 577% on their investments. And the company grew at a rate that was 2 times faster than S&P 500 index, which means the return on Waste Connection was higher than the 500 large companies that traded in US, and also Dow Jones Index in the waste sector. In yellow, it's the TSX 60 index, which represents 60 large companies that traded in Toronto, and Waste Connection represented 4 times greater than that. Next slide, please. Talking about valuation of the company, let's begin with the WACC number. For the financial statements for 2021, the company had the average cost of 6.9% to finance its operation, while also had a percentage of 6.9 representing its return. This means Waste Connection is generating enough returns to cover its costs to financing it. The company started to pay dividends in 2010, and since then grew 360%, beginning with 5 cents and paid in the last year 23 cents.
So merger and acquisition. So in the annual report of 2021, 21 smaller companies were got by this company, Waste Connections. And this means that in 2021, the acquisition were approximately 400 million in total annualized revenues, including new market entries and market expansion. This means that in expansion time, this is a good timing on the investment. But now let's talk about the pros and the cons of it. On the pro side, we have this increased sales, and it's going to increase the market share, which means that the company is already working with the government, right? It already have some contracts, so the expansion of it can lead to bigger contracts and to actually better contracts. On the consequences, we can say that the integration process of these 21 smaller companies in just 1 year is not going to be that easy. So to fully integrate the company is going to take time inside of the company and some management compensations. But this means that new lines of technology can be also profitable because the company is also investing on new facilities that can lead into other revenues beside of the actual ones. This takes us to the next slide, please. Thank you. And if we talk about management compensation, We can say that on the ESG aspect, that stands for environmental, social, and governance, we have these 3 points. On the environmental side, it has the lowest emission industry intensity in the industry. This means that no investing as the competitors can be taken from this company because we are already on that level. On the social side, it have a safety record. It's actually above the industry average. So this means that we have a low employee demand rates. And on the governance side, there has been some compensation about well management that is already incorporated in the company. They can lead to compensations as financial support beside also of the revenues of the company.
So due to its industry, Waste Connections is heavily capital driven, and it has consistently been spending roughly $1 billion per year to support growth by acquisitions and market expansion projects. And we can see on the right side of the graph that with the exception of the pandemic here, the company has been generating very good levels of cash flow, even though they are spending a lot of money on capital budgeting, which of course increases their debt to equity ratio. But they, even when they have been the lowest ratio among their peers. And on top of that, every year they have been increasing their cash dividends per share with a total compound rate of roughly 15%. Next slide, please. And so because of the company's very strong performance over the years and their revenue structure coming from different economic sectors, we believe that this company will outperform their competitors, benefiting from opportunities like regulation changes. When you have a lot of cash in hand, like this company has been consistently generating, you are more flexible to heavily changes that impact your costs. M&A as well, because we do have 20,000 small companies available in the market when cash at hand. And again, very good access with the credit lines makes you a better buyer. And finally, for demand opportunities, there is a trend of going green. And this company, again, with cash on hand and credit line, they have the capacity to buy equipment to increase their recycle revenues. And so this is definitely a company to keep your eyes on if you're looking for steady income. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.